I'll kind of get right to it because I'm actually in the middle of working, and I just want to say the this whole quarantine situation with the pandemic and how we've been forced to stay home or whatever has slowed a lot of things down for me mentally to where I didn't know that this would that this would do this for me, but it allowed me to slow down enough to realize some things, or maybe get answers or closer to more truth about myself and why I feel the way I feel sometimes, and my anxiety and all that. And it helped me to realize a lot of my anxiety is based on trauma that I have gone through when I was younger, and as well as in adulthood that didn't help. So I had a trigger during the quarantine. I had a trigger where I'm talking about I cried for hours. It was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. And when I was done with the crying, because I was just so exhausted after a while, I was able to slow down for a moment because there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to, I'm just going to go here and distract myself. I had to actually just sit with it. And I actually started questioning myself, like, why did that happen? What was I feeling? What was I thinking? And I just went deeper and deeper with the questions, and the more answers that the more I answered the questions, the more I questioned those answers, which led to deeper answers as to why and how and where did this come from, and why do I feel that, and what happened that I feel that way. And I dug deep, and it turns out that a lot of the anxiety I have is trauma based. And with that, I've also been trying to practice or find new ways to practice caring for that part of myself and caring for the inner child who's been hurt. And it helped me to realize how long I've been trying to do this on my own. And yes, a part of me still feels like I can figure this out on my own, but part of me is like, there's nothing wrong with seeking help. And for the majority, I have healed and continue to practice those things that keep it going in a better way. Like, from a lot of the things that I've been through prior, and the decisions that I used to make prior that led to consequences and all this shit. But when it comes to that, I feel like, for the most part, I just kept telling myself it'll get better. And then I would go and distract myself, like go run errands or do whatever the heck. And for once I sat with it and really dug deep. And more I'm seeing this has to do with traumas from years ago. And some of them, again, with certain experiences I had a few years ago in my adulthood, like not even as a child anymore, as an adult, did not help. Did not help that. If anything, it dug it deeper or perpetuated or whatever, for a lack of a better word. And so I am gonna like see what's the best route as far as help when it comes to that. But I also have to keep learning to keep in mind to not totally discredit myself, because I have done a lot of work on myself to where there has been an overwhelming amount of change, even from 5-6 years ago. There's been a dramatic amount, overwhelming amount of change. You still have, like, you still got the core self, like your personality, but when it comes to your decision making and the consequences and situations you put yourself through and whether you have boundaries or not, and all this shit, all this other shit that you have a choice in affects you. And it can affect you negatively, positively. It can help heal, or it can help perpetuate what's already there. And so a lot of that I have cleaned up, and I to this day still find healthy ways to still continue to practice those to further solidify that. One of the ways I tend to tell that is that I watched some of my old videos and I don't agree. I understand where I was coming from at the time, but I don't agree with a lot of what I was saying. And so I think that's a sign of growth when you can evolve past where you've been. I don't agree with a lot of the decisions I made. I don't agree with who I put myself around. I don't agree with a lot of things. And kind of goes hand in hand with the video I made prior to this one, where I was like, if I knew what I knew now, I would have done a lot of things differently. My life would have probably turned out very different. Not that I regret anything, but it clearly would have. It would have turned out very different. Definitely more healthier than this. I would have known better in a lot of the situations, and I would have been able to help myself more and quicker, and put myself in a better position. But anyways, I will be doing that, and I just like that. I like when I continue to keep learning more about where things came from, understanding it, and then getting to the root of it to start a healing process in order to further evolve that part of me into a better version, so that the whole picture is advancing together. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just wanted to share that real quick. I got to get back to work. But if you want to share as well, in what ways has this helped you in any kind of way, or even if it has nothing to do with the quarantine, like have you guys experienced any of this to where like a healing process, and how, and has it helped you? Anything you want to share with me with your experience, go ahead right there in the comments. Like I said, I love learning from people. I love hearing other people's stories and experiences as well, as much as I like sharing mine. All right, guys, take care.